So we know a mask lowers your inhibitions, and inhibitions usually are a good thing because it's your sense of morality, your sense of shame of what not to do. And the other thing that happens psychologically is it tends to transform people. And take a look at these quotes I found in the research. One was by Frost and Yaro in 1990. They wrote that the mask annihilates its wearer's sense of self. And then another quote in 1962 was from a psychologist: the wearing of a mask leads to the acquisition of new identities. So what they found is that people that wear a mask, it tends to conform you a lot easier. You start to be part of the herd and you start to lose your independent thought. And it's easier based on their research to change someone's, let's say, religious point of view or political point of views or any point of views if they're wearing a mask. It's a weird psychological thing. They become part of the collective. And that sort of explains what we're seeing here. These people, they're wearing a mask, right? Everyone, you see the Karens and the soy boys shaking their fingers at you. And they have this real sense of morality that they're saving the human race. And if you don't wear a mask, you're evil. You're trying to kill people. You're just the most vicious person that can be imagined. See, that's what they do. That's what they think of while they're wearing the mask. So my thesis is, and my hypothesis here is, hey, if I wanted to fundamentally change the people quickly, and I asked psychologists, it's like, okay, we want to transform Americans. They have this independent spirit. We don't want that anymore. We want them to conform. We want them to obey. How do we do that? We can't give them drugs directly. I think a lot of psychologists would come back and say, okay, what you need to do is somehow make them wear a mask. Make it mandatory that they have to wear a mask. Because if you do that, number one, it's going to lower their inhibitions, which means they're more likely to attack others that aren't wearing a mask. So it will embolden them, gives them a sense of zeal, like a missionary. And it will help to transform them and transform their beliefs, because it psychologically starts to erase their identity, their old identity, and they adopt another one. And that's really what we're seeing here. So I'm not saying for sure this is what's happening, but how they're talking about, oh, this isn't a temporary crisis, this is like the new normal, and oh, you got to wear a mask, and how it's become so politicized, especially people that are typically on the left that want to control your behavior. They don't like individualism. They don't like people expressing views that they don't like. They're for political correctness and everything else. So these are the people that really like the mask because it symbolizes being subservient. It's like getting on your knees, it's bowing your head. Wearing the mask, it eliminates, or as the guy say, it annihilates your former personality.